This video is a response to some issues that were brought up by Geerup in his critique of a exchange regarding Thunderfoot and a evangelical Christian arguing various points. Geerup mentioned that man is untrustworthy. He's a liar, he's a thief, and he's a sinner. And Geerup also pointed out that the Bible has an explanation for man's behaviors in this regard. And of course, from an evangelical Christian point of view, for Geerup, the answer is that Adam was originally blameless and without sin. He disobeyed God, and that occasioned what's known for Christianity as the fall. Man became a rebel to God and was expelled from the Garden of Eden, and ever since man has been a rebel, a sinner, a liar, untrustworthy. So Geerup is correct. The Bible is presenting an explanation for man's behaviors. However, there are other explanations by other societies for these same faults that exist in all human beings. I would like to call attention here to the Mesopotamian understanding on this issue. For the Mesopotamians, they understood that man had been made in the image of the gods, and that he possessed an attitude and behavior that was identical to the gods. The big difference, of course, is that in the Mesopotamian belief system, at least the early system of the 4th and 3rd millenniums BC, the gods were not righteous. They are portrayed as being unrighteous. They're sinners. They're evil. The gods commit incest with their mothers, their sisters, and their daughters, even their granddaughters and great-granddaughters. The gods, before man is created, murder each other. For example, the goddess Inanna, the queen of heaven, is murdered by her sister Erishigal in the underworld. The god Enki of Eridu in Sumer murders his ancestor Abzu and takes over the location of Eridu and makes it his temple site. Enlil, another god of Nippur, is responsible for raping his future wife Nin-Il at Nippur and gets expelled from the city by the other gods who are upset about this behavior. So the gods lied to each other, murdered each other, raped each other, committed incest, and man, made in the image of the gods, according to the Mesopotamian system, can be no better. That is to say, man is an innocent victim to a certain degree of circumstances beyond his control. He is a sinner, a liar, and a murderer because the gods in whose image he was made were sinners, liars, and murderers also. So in the Mesopotamian system, man is not held to blame for the evil in the world, and all the bloodshed, and all the murdering, and all the lying, and all the killing. The world is understood to be a dangerous, horrible place to live in because it was that way because of the gods' behaviors and actions before, I repeat, before man was created. So the Mesopotamians, like the Hebrews in their book of Genesis, have an explanation why man is evil, why he sins, why he is a reprobate, why he rebels. One of the particular myths about man's creation is situated at the city of Nippur. In this city, it is decided to create man by taking some clay and forming him. To give this clay life, a god called Wa'ila, who is a Ijiji god, is slaughtered, killed. His blood and his flesh are ground into the clay that is man, and this action animates or gives life to man. So then, man has been created a rebel to the gods, because Wa'ila was a rebel to the gods. Wa'ila wanted to kill Enlil, because Enlil would not give the Ijiji gods any rest from toil in his Garden of Eden at Nippur. So man has a murderous, rebellious spirit in him of Wa'ila, the Ijiji god of Nippur. That's the explanation that the Mesopotamians give for why man rebels against God. So we can see then from this little brief presentation that there exist other explanations why man is the way he is, besides that found in Genesis. I would say from a secular humanist point of view, there is another explanation as advocated by science, and that is man is an animal. He is a descendant of lower forms of life, and that his actions and behaviors are that of an animal, and that he has created the concept of good and evil to harness his animal impulses for the good of society. We can't have man doing whatever he wants to do, because somebody's going to be oppressed in the final tally. So all societies everywhere on the earth, to some degree, have created taboos, laws of what is acceptable and non-acceptable human behavior. And the Hebrews, with their stories of invisible God supposedly telling them what they could do and what they can't do, are an example of a universal human behavior and tradition. That's it for this little rebuttal to Geerup's observations on Thunderfoot. Thank you for listening.